can literally buy it and 10 minutes later be reading it.
Yeah, it's $2.99. It's a quick read, made to just read on your phone. So I'm gonna read
the one about gangs.
Oh, the one about gangs. Oh, nah, I'm not trying to do that.
You asked the question.
I think my cousin was single-handedly. ATL's in the house and Jay Malone. Man, it's powerful though. But like, ooh, it hits.
We got Vil Pover, or is it Will?
I was thinking like Beauty or Still Fresh.
I have Still Fresh up right here. That's what I was reading.
Okay.
Yep. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna do Still Fresh because I feel like everybody can't get a haircut right now, and they like what I'm saying, like this is my bathroom's best right here. A little lineup. I was just getting crazy. All right, so this poem is called Still Fresh, inspired by my natural existence, which a lot of us brothers and sisters, actually everybody's going through it right now because, nail shops and everything are closed right now. Yeah. I got no lineup, but I'm still fresh. We live in an era where we do it for the gram. We do it to look like the man. We do it to make sure that you know that I can be successful one day. But for now, don't fret. I got no lineup, but I'm still fresh. Life is hard because we went to the battlefield and came back scarred. America hasn't been on a short run to fame, but I'll go far. I'm willing to sacrifice bottles at the club so I can celebrate my accomplishments when it's time. I'm looking to win this year because I'm in my prime. No fly, but I'm still that guy. Why? Because I got no lineup and I'm still fresh. I traveled the world. I'm still dating the same girl. I'm not dripped in gold. I'm not super young, but I'm far from old. I keep it cool and sometimes I'm lukewarm. So I'm stable while we travel through storms because I got no lineup, but I'm still fresh. I'm afraid to only love me when I'm on point. The days my clothes are ironed and shoes are fresh. When I walk into that joint looking at all the honeys buzzing and flapping their wings because they finally see a king. Because I got no lineup, but I'm still fresh. I ain't perfect, but I'm worth it. Keeping that mindset till I land where the dirt is. 6 feet deep with creeps who peep more than they speak, only holding their tongues because they can't run with the confidence that comes from the eternal breath because I got no lineup, but I'm still fresh. I make the most of what I got, so I got it all. I could pick up my home and give my moms a call. I call on my friends and I'm the rock with respect. I work my butt off and I collected my checks. I'm not a straight A student, but I passed life's test because I got no lineup, but I'm still fresh.
Yeah, somebody said this is a Corona season anthem.
Yo, there it is.
Somebody should have recorded that, and that should have been put into some beats in the background. It could have been a song.
Yeah. People inspired me today. I think to memorize a couple more of these. So I'm gonna put "Still Fresh" and "Love Yourself" on the on my list here.
Yeah, we got I ain't perfect, but I'm worth it. Snaps, and that's me snapping too.
And that's really it. That's self-love, and that's a self-love definition right there. Define self-love. I ain't perfect, but I'm worth it. So, Valina, great catch.
Yeah. Anybody else have any questions that you'd like to ask about self-love, a revolution of the heart? Again, for me,
any stories of self-love?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what are your practices? Like, what do you all do? Because I'm not the end-all, be-all. I just want to get the conversation going. Yeah. Who can you talk to about self-love, actually? Right? What I've been encouraging people to do, as I've been just DMing people about the book, is telling them to pick their poem and then read it to somebody. And then talk to them about why you picked that poem to read. Right? I feel like if you can just share poetry with people, that's what it's for.
Mm-hmm.
Because it helps me to say what I don't know how to say regularly sometimes.
Yeah.
And then boom, you just share and read that poem with somebody. You can read Still Fresh to somebody if you feel like they judging you right now. You feel like your partner's looking at you and be like, why you don't got no lineup? Right? Obviously they know. Right? But like and maybe you don't have to read the whole thing. Maybe you're just reading a stanza or two, and it just helps you get the conversation going.
Yeah. Yeah. Single-handedly talks a little bit about, you talked a little about this earlier, but maybe just to close out some thoughts around what inspired you to focus on love of self.
Yeah. Okay, so I put love into 3 categories. Grand Supreme is going to be God's love. Without that, where's the universe? Where's Earth in the first place? The sun, all that, right? Boom, humans especially. So boom, 2, self-love. Fill yourself up so that you have the ability to pour onto others, which becomes the bottom, which is going to be, which really actually is like love, right? That's where love lives. Which I would say is like romantic love, right? But also your love for everyone else and just relationships in general. And so, I'm like, people are at home right now, and people are really just missing social life and missing everyone else. And I was like, you have more time than you probably need to just focus on you. And what's more beautiful than just reading poetry that can help you just understand more about your internal journey?
For somebody who hasn't written poetry before, how do you get, like, what do you recommend you do to get started? Like, what is your technique to get your like juices flowing when you get into the mode where you want to write poetry? What do you do?
Okay, if you do not have a music background, just write anything, and every time you finish a thought, write a new line. Because poetry is about expressing a thought, not necessarily a perfectly structured type of thing. So as you're writing poetry, I don't know what happened, flip it back. So as you're writing poetry, if you do not have a music background, get a piece of paper and just write a thought, and as soon as you're done with a thought, go to the next line. If you have a music background, write a song, whether that's rapping. And then I want you to write the song to no beat.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that too. Write a song to no beat.
Write a song to no beat. The rhythm might change, right? That's why I have parts of my poem where I'm like, ba da 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 da. Like the rhythm and the flow can go different because it's a song with no beat. Like I'm just giving you what I got. Give me my heart.
My last question, and then we'll see if anybody else has any other questions. And this is, of course, about community. So you and I have another thing in common, which is we grew up around the same community, right? I grew up on Florence in Hyde Park. In Inglewood, you grew up not too far from there on Crenshaw community, right?
Yeah.
How has, and I know some of this because I know you personally. For those people that don't know you, how has your community shaped your view and vision of self-love?
Wow. Okay. So deep answer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So bear with me for 2 minutes, people. All right. This is the quick version of my life story in the communities I've lived in that's impacted it. I'm originally, I was born in Oakland, California, where it's the home of the Black Panthers. So self-love means like setting clear boundaries and being unafraid to represent the history that comes with you. Good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful. Boom. After that, I moved to Queens, New York with my grandmother, who was a volunteer police officer and community advocate, who took me around to different type of like political speeches. So she taught me, don't talk without a point. So a lot of my poetry has a message. I'm not writing aimlessly, right? With that, you take me to Los Angeles, where I went to high school and college. And in LA, there's Flare and Flash. So that's where you get things like Still Fresh, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like in LA, you gotta believe you're a star, even if you're only a star in your block or
Right.
in your house. You're a star
Right.
somewhere, right? And then at the same time, I think that brought on a lot of the real just like full expression of myself, because I got to like build up so much more in the Crenshaw district. I got to see people love being from anything that just had the word Crenshaw on it, whether it was Crenshaw Boulevard, Crenshaw High.
Same thing with Inglewood, I feel. I mean,
Same thing with Inglewood. LA is prideful, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like here's the thing: you go outside, and so there's a lot of pride, right? I have to have pride, and to be honest, I got tired of faking it. Because in LA, you got to have so much pride and flair and flash and bravado. Right. And I'm like, I got it, but like, it just don't come every day. It ain't coming automatically. There's some self-love work I have to do in order to have this confidence and this bravado. Otherwise, I'm on this live and I'm like, ooh, you know, and I'm going to feel that on the inside and then I'm going to show that on the outside. And I'm literally eventually going to be like, ooh. And so, I wanted to make sure that I could back up what I was saying, back up what I could doing, and make sure that my dark matched my light. And that took a lot of internal work. And that also allows me to now walk around my community and be like, okay, I'm not just a product of my community, but I'm a contributor to my community. And I'm going to contribute with my books. I'm going to contribute with my poetry. I'm going to contribute with my success, and make sure that when they tell the story of this Crenshaw graduate, that it's a story worth telling. And so I know as far as I can go, someone else is going to see this and go just a step further. So I'm also coming from like such a deep history, right? I wanted to be a professor because Huey P. Newton got his doctorate degree, and I read his dissertation at 14. But that's something that's going to happen, you know, coming out of Oakland. Right. I wanted to make sure that I stayed engaged with like an organization that could make an actual difference. Right. Because here you have like Black Panthers who are like slain at UCLA, right, in Campbell Hall, and that becomes the tutoring room. You study different. Right. Like things like that also impact me as well. I would say this: my attack on even single mothers was about what I didn't see men do for women. Right? Like that's something that definitely empowers me, is trying to become the man that I felt like men who are in my family who I like, they didn't step up to the expectation I had of them for what I think a real man is. So like that's not necessarily that's my community without it being like a geographical community.
Yeah.
So
yeah, well, that community
definitely step up and do it right. That empowers things like Underground King and what values I'm putting there. But then at the same time, when I see men not step up, it doesn't really, in my opinion, provide the women that they've like, or they're in family with, give them the foundation that they need to be able to thrive. Because at the end of the day, like, I feel like there's going to be things that a woman can do that a man can never be able to do, but a man can sit there and be a foundation, right, and step up in certain places. Right, especially like in a romantic sense, for where I think you want to build family.
I just want to say, yeah. Woo. Well, I'm always super honored to be able to share your light with friends, share about your book. I highly encourage anybody in here that did join us and has not read it. You got a message for them?
So if you haven't read Self-Love, I don't know what you're waiting on. Go to Amazon right now, read Self-Love. I guarantee you there's a poem that you should share with somebody that you love, that you appreciate. I think you have so much time right now to really dive into yourself, and you know that you can do more for you. You know that you can love you more. And I hope that my poetry, and I know that my poetry and my story will help you do it.
Dope. There's one more question in here that I feel like it'd be a good wrapping piece point. Let's see. Lil Villa She says, how do we begin chipping away at that internal work? How can we use COVID-19 downtime to brainstorm the self-love we want to exert on others, hopefully physically and in person someday soon?
Yes. Okay. So I am not paid by any of these commercials that's about to happen. Get you a passion planner. Write down your goals and organize it because it just feels good. Get you an empty notebook. Order it from Michael's online or Amazon right now and get you an empty notebook that's unruled and just write your thoughts. I have, this is going to be so embarrassing. But I have.
Hey, closet.
You know, y'all in the closet. Okay, so boom. I have stacks of notebooks that I've written about my life. And we're going to close my closet. I didn't plan on showing that. So I wish you could cut that out, but it's all good. Living life authentically. Imperfect as I am. I'm not perfect, but I'm worth it. Yeah. So anyways, write down those notebooks and just like write down all your thoughts. And then
so
go try it.
Journaling
Go
daily.
try stuff. Mm-hmm. Journaling as often as you feel the need. I had days where I was journaling 4 or 5 times a day, and I had times where I journal 4 or 5 times a week, and I have days where I journal 4 or 5 times a month. Like, let it be emotional, right? But let it be consistent. So if you're going to do it 4 or 5 times a week, then do it 4 or 5 times a week for like 4 or 5 weeks, and then switch it up, right? Asani's dropping books. Yeah, that man writes no books too. Right? Hey, my landmark brother. What up, Jay? Jay got some awesome music, people. Go check that out. Yeah, it's reggaeton.
Oh, reggaeton.
It goes hard. If you're ready. Yeah, so I think we got like 1 minute left before, like, how long the lives last? An hour before they cut off?
I don't know.
So that's usually how it goes. It's usually like an hour before it cuts off. So I think we should dip. I think we should leave. Go get Self-Love on Amazon. Stephanie, thank you so much.
Hey, thank you.
Co-hosting, asking questions. I love you. You're my sister for life.
Always.
Yes.
Always. For life. Always support you.
I'll give you a call right after this, actually.
Hope we get to do this some other time. This is my first live, so I hope to do this at some point.
Yo, you did great. Yo, I would be honored to interview you because I know you got heat coming. You know.
Oh, we gonna talk about that, but we have some stuff coming
I'm gonna call you in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, congrats on the book. Congrats on the book.
Thank you.
Hey.
Please go check out the book. Yo, thank you. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Malone. Thank you, Sabine. Thank you. Oh, James Abaji, I see you. Little Villa. Okay. All right. Peace, people.